No other American newspaper is as closely associated with the building that it's in than the Chicago Tribune. The building really suggests the importance of newspapers, that they have this mission to serve as a check on the government and to hold the powerful accountable.
Blair Kamen is an architecture critic at the Chicago Tribune. He has studied the trend of newspapers leaving their landmark homes.
See up there that there's a figure with angel's wings, and his mouth is like this? Then there's another figure right up there. These sculptures represent rumor, like rumor, hey, have you heard about this?
Okay.
And that's truth. In other words, that's like right?
Yeah.
That's the newspaper person who's gone out, gotten a story, is delivering the facts.
There are 150 historically significant fragments from around the world that surround the base of the Tribune. They include artifacts from all 50 states.
You can also see, there's pieces over here of cathedral in Austria, Roman ruins, the Great Wall, the Taj Mahal, the Alamo. It suggested the global reach, literally, of the Tribune's correspondence. It also suggested the aspiration of the newspaper. In other words, if you're going to put a fragment of a famous building like the Taj Mahal in the base of your skyscraper, you're essentially saying that you hope that your skyscraper will someday match the Taj Mahal or comparable buildings in beauty and historical importance.
The Tribune Tower was built in 1925, specifically for the newspaper. In mid-2018, the staff will move out of this building, and it will be transformed into apartments. But what does it mean for the public when newspapers leave their landmark buildings?
Without these architectural symbols, it's much harder, I think, for the news organizations to communicate their importance in the public mind.
Inside the 36th floor tower is a grand lobby filled with inscriptions. There are quotes about the importance of the free press and the significance of newspapers as a watchdog for the public.
The old saying is, today's front page is tomorrow's fish wrap.
Exactly.
So this takes the perishable commodity of newspapers and makes it permanent. It gives it the kind of weight and sense of permanence that you associate with like a great civic building, like a city hall or a courthouse or something like that. And it elevates, the meaning of newspapers. It's kind of like, so it's like a cathedral of the free press.
Once upon a time, traditional newspaper buildings were visual symbols of influence and authority. Even movies reflected this. But the newspaper business is not as profitable as it was in the past. The migration of readers and advertisers to the internet and newspapers' outdated economic model has forced some paper companies to sell their buildings for prime real estate values. From coast to coast, newspaper companies have moved out of their stately buildings. Companies like the Washington Post, the New York Daily News, and the Miami Herald. There is talk that the Los Angeles Times may follow suit.
This shift with newspapers moving out of the headquarters buildings that they designed is happening at a strange time. It's happening when the President of the United States is attacking news organizations.
Can you give us a question? I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Because they have no sources. They just make them up when there are none.
We can still do great journalism in another building, but it won't be as easy to remind people of the importance of our mission when we're tenants in a building rather than the owners of a specially designed building.
So this is just a transition. It's not an end to the newspaper era.
Oh no, it is a transition. It's a transition as newspapers increasingly become news organizations that have multiple platforms. Working in this building has really been a privilege. It's a building that you don't just go to work to each day. It's a building that, if you're a journalist, really serves to inspire you.